Anyone?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, okay. Now let's do a simple question. So last time in last class we saw, well, okay, we had two rational numbers. We had, for example, we had 3 by 5 and 4 by 5. And then when you were asked to find a rational number or 5 rational numbers between these two, you could find that, right? But how about I how about we say find two irrational numbers, or let's just talk about one, or you can say one or two irrational numbers, right? Find two irrational numbers between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5. So in the last class, you you all found out rational numbers between these two. So in today's class, can you tell me how to find out irrational numbers between these two? Any ideas? Hamna? Hamna, am I audible to you? Okay, Mridula, can you help us out? How can we find an irrational number between these two? Veer, Veer, can you help us out? Anyone? Okay. Veer, can you tell me the definition of an irrational number or an example of an irrational number? Can you give me an example? You can unmute yourself or you can use the chat box as per your convenience.
Yes, ma'am, am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, Veer.
Ma'am, ma'am, irrational number, ma'am, I can give you an example, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, root 2, root 3, root 5,
All right.
root,
Root 2,
root
root 3,
21.
root 21. Very good. So basically,
Ma'am, basically, ma'am, irrational number is a type of a real number which cannot be expressed in a rational form.
very good, in the rational form. Exactly. That is precisely the definition of an irrational number. But okay, so you gave me examples of, square roots. This is great. But can you give me examples of an irrational number which is in a decimal form? For example, you just stated root 2, right? So if I talk about the expansion of root 2, the decimal expansion of root 2, it is 1.414 and so on. I don't remember the rest. So this is the decimal expansion of root 2. And okay, Veer, is pi an irrational number?
Yes, ma'am, pi is an irrational number.
Right.
Its
Do you
value is,
remember its
ma'am, value is 3.41. Ma'am, I don't remember it perfectly.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's 3.14. All right. So the first two digits are this. But
Ma'am,
if you want to continue, it's, yeah.
23rd March is celebrated as Pi Day, ma'am.
23rd March,
No, ma'am, 14th March is celebrated as
14th March. Right. Why? Because, in foreign countries, not in India, but in foreign countries, you write the date as month first, right? And then you write the date. So it's like 3 and then 14. That's
Ma'am,
why it's
and
celebrated
Albert
as.
Einstein was born on that day, and
Yes.
uh, Stephen Hawking died, so that's why that is the main reason.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So this isn't just it. These are just the first few digits of pi. It keeps on continuing till forever. So it's 3.14159.265 and so on, right? So you can see that this is a decimal expansion where the digits are not repeating. Unlike, we had, if you talk about 22 by 7, we had, if you divide this, if you divide it this way, and you see the decimal expansion of this, it turns out to be 3.142857. And then it starts repeating again, 142857, 142857, and so on. So it just continues. Oops, write a 5 here, right? So this is an example of an irrational number, and we discussed this in the first class because this is an irrational number because none of the digits over here are repeating. Over here we have these digits repeating. So my question was, can you name can you give an example of an irrational number? We already talked about pi. Irrational number, the decimal expansion of which is not repeating. Anyone? Veer, Mridula, Hamna. Come on, we covered this in the first class.
Ma'am, can you repeat the question? I lost my internet.
Yeah. So the question is, can you give an example of an irrational number whose decimal expansion does not have any repeating digits? Like
Ma'am, it's
give me an
gonna be
example of.
non-terminating recurring, ma'am.
No, it won't be recurring. Why? If it was recurring, then it would be rational, right? This is recurring. This is recurring. But in irrational, you don't have recurring, as in you don't have repeating. So, Veer, your examples were correct. You were talking about root 2, root 3, root 21. These were correct. But I am specifically looking for the decimal expansions. So I'll just tell you what I was looking for. For example, you can have 2.010010001 and then 4 times 0 and then 1 and so on, right? So why is this non-repeating? Because none of the digits are repeating. Over here you have 0, 1. Over here you have 0, 1. And then after that, you increased 1 0 over here. So that's 001 and then 0001. So it keeps on going. It won't ever end because after every 1, you are adding 1 extra 0, right? So it will never end. Are you getting my point? All three of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Veer. Mridula, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So now that we have taken, we have looked at what decimal expansions of irrational numbers look like, can you now tell me of any way? Let's just brainstorm. Let's think about how we can go about to find out one or two irrational numbers between these two numbers. These are two rational numbers. We need to find an irrational number between these two. What can we do?
Ma'am, can
We
you
can
repeat
cross
it?
multiply them.
Okay, do you want me to repeat the question?
Ma'am, we can cross multiply them.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Veer says we can cross multiply them. All right, Mridula, the question was, see, we have, let me just open a new page because it's too messy here. We have 3 by 5. This is one number. Which type of number is this, Mridula?
Ma'am, fraction.
Very good, fraction. But now since you're in 9th grade, can you name this number, like can you classify this number in a different way instead of fraction? What did we learn? What can we call this?
Ma'am, rational number.
Yeah, very good, Veer. Right, so this is a rational number. And we have another rational number, 4 by 5. So Mridula, my question was, can you please tell me an irrational number between these two? Because in the last class, we saw that between any two rational numbers, you have any two rational numbers, you're gonna have an infinite number of irrational numbers between these two rational numbers. So if you're saying that we're gonna have a lot of irrational numbers between any two rational numbers, then I'm asking you, well, okay, name any one irrational number between these two rational numbers. Are you getting my point now, Mithila?
Yes, ma'am.
What about Hamna? Am I audible, Hamna? You can also type in the chat box if you're unable to unmute yourself for some reason.
Ma'am, I can't see your presentation. It's gone.
Acha, Veer, you can't see my presentation. Mridula, are you able to see my presentation, my screen?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Acha, Veer, I guess, okay, I'll just stop sharing and then I'll start sharing again. Now is it visible, Veer?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. All right. So what we can do is, okay, now if you look at the number line, Veer, can you tell me now, how can we find an irrational number between these two?
Ma'am, I guess we can.
It's okay, even if you're wrong, it's totally fine. Just tell me what you think.
Ma'am, we should. Ma'am, I have no idea. Sorry.
Okay. How about, see, we saw that, see, irrational numbers can't be expressed in fractions. Is that right, everyone? Irrational numbers can't be expressed in fractions. True or false?
No, it's true.
Okay, Veer, what do you think?
False.
Okay, so I'll repeat my question. irrational numbers can't be expressed as fractions. And Veer,
True,
you
true.
one who,
Ma'am,
yeah,
true.
right. Okay, so they can't be expressed as fractions. So what did we do in the when we had to find out rational numbers between two given rational numbers, right? For example, we had let's just take the example of 3 by 5 itself. So we had 3 by 5 and 4 by 5, and then we said, okay, let's find rational numbers between these two. So what we did was, we said, all right, this can be written as 30 by 50 and this can be written as 40 by 50, right? This is just the same thing. 3 by 5 is the same as 30 by 50. So then we said, well, there are a lot of rational numbers, a lot of fractions between these two. So we said, well, 31 by 50, 32 by 50, and so on. These are rational numbers between, that are lying over here in this area. But then the thing about irrational numbers is that they can't be represented as fractions. So that means now you'll have to convert this and this into decimals, right? What we can do is we can convert this, convert these two things into decimals, and into decimals. And then we can see, oh, well, what are the numbers that are lying over here? So if we talk about the decimal expansion of 3 by 5, can someone quickly calculate that and tell me?
Can you repeat it? Ma'am, I missed it.
Can you tell me the decimal expansion of 3 by 5?
Ma'am, 0.6.
Okay. And 4 by 5?
Ma'am, 0.8.
All right. Okay. So we have over here, this 3 by 5 is 0.6 and this 4 by 5 is nothing but 0.8. So now can you come up with an irrational number between 0.6 and 0.8?
Ma'am, 0.7.
Again, I'll repeat my question. Can you come up with an irrational number irrational number between 0.6 and 0.8. But 0.7 is not an irrational number, is it, Mridula?
I'm sorry, I listened that what is the number like between these two?
Okay, yeah, so we need an irrational number between these two. Okay, how about 0.7010010001 and then 4 times 0 and then 1 and so on. Is this an irrational number?
Yes, ma'am.
Veer, what do you think? Veer, are you able to hear me? Okay, so this is an irrational number, and Mridula, does it lie between 0.6 and 0.8? Okay, Hamna has replied. Very good. Yes, Hamna, that's correct. So another example of one such number is 0.65, 655, and then 6 and 3 times 5 and so on, right? So it keeps on going until infinity. So that is an irrational number. And this is also an example of an irrational number which lies between this and this. Is this clear to everyone? Please say a yes if it's clear, or if there's a doubt, please ask.
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Ma'am, can you explain one more time this?
Okay, so from which point onward do you want me to explain?
And the last point.
The last point. All right. So so you understood till here, and you also said that 0. This whole number 0.70 and so on, this is irrational. You said that it is irrational, right? It's true, it is irrational. What were we looking for? The question was, find an irrational number between these two rationals. So this is rational and this is rational, and you had to find an irrational number between these two, right? So that irrational number, we said, okay, this number lies between 0.6 and 0.8, and it is irrational. So this is one of the numbers that we're looking for. Another number, another example, because we said, well, there are infinitely many irrational numbers lying between any two rational numbers. So as Hamna said, 0.65, 655, 655, and so on. This is also an example of an irrational number that lies between 0.6 and 0.8. So is it clear now, Mridula?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I hope it is. All right. So now,
Ma'am, the rational number between these two can be any number with one that lies between the two.
could you repeat?
Ma'am, the irrational number between these two rational are, ma'am, can be anything lies that between the two.
Yeah, it can't be anything. For example, if you have 0.75, well, it does lie between 0.6 and 0.8, but we weren't looking for this. We were looking for an irrational number. So is this irrational?
No, ma'am.
No, it's not. So this won't be what we're looking for. Is it clear now, Mridula?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Now, I want you all to attempt this one. So we have two numbers, two rational numbers, 1 by 7 and 2 by 7. And I want you all to find out two irrational numbers between these two. Okay, let's see who replies first. You can either type it in the chat box or you can unmute. Okay, Mridula, what is the first step that we need to take here?
Ma'am, that we convert rational number into decimals.
Very good. Yes. We convert these two, both of these into decimals. All right. So please tell me what are the decimal expansions of both of these?
Ma'am, 1/7 is ma'am 0.40.
0.142857
0.1.
bar, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now who will tell me the decimal expansion of 2/7? Okay.
Mama put it in the chat box.
Okay, very good. Yes, that's right, Veer. So it's 0.285714 bar. All right. So now we have these two numbers, these two decimals. Now, who's going to be the first one to tell me an irrational number between these two?
Ma'am, many will be there, ma'am, between 1/7 and
Exactly.
2/7.
Yes,
0.
there will be infinitely many. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, example 0.162344.
Okay,
Any
just
number can be taken.
point.
Ma'am,
Yeah, but
any
we're looking specifically for irrational numbers. So can you give me an example? 0 point, you said something? 16?
Ma'am, 0.15.
Okay, 15, all right.
0. Ma'am, am I correct or?
Can you tell me what exactly are you saying about the number 0.15 and can you continue after
0.150
that?
500
Very good. Yes.
1.
Then you can say 5. All right. 1 sec. 1. And that's it. Is it ending over here? Is the number ending here?
Ma'am, it continues.
Okay, it continues.
It again repeat 1505001.
Achha, but then won't that be a repeating decimal? So if
No,
it is a
ma'am,
repeating decimal,
ma'am, sorry, ma'am, it continues.
right? So you
Ma'am,
could say
ma'am, any number from 0.142857 to 0.285714 can be taken.
any number can be taken.
Ma'am, but it should be irrational.
Exactly. So can you give me an
Non-repeating,
example of that?
From 0.150503219.
Right. You can just put in any random digits which don't repeat.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. You can do that also. Okay, let me just give two examples. So one that Veer is saying is 0.150. Then you could just add any random numbers like 2, 3.
Ma'am, 0.2793221.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have to say dot, dot, dot. As in, you have to make it specific that we are continuing this decimal expansion. It's not ending over there. Right. So you can just put any random numbers over here. Right. It keeps. So when you put dot, 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 it means that the decimal expansion doesn't just end over here, because if it ended over here, then that would make it a rational number. which is very different from an irrational number, right? So the other thing that you could do would be to just, keep on adding the zeros. That's like the simplest thing to do. You don't even have to think much about it. So is this clear to everyone?
Ma'am, is I'm correct, ma'am, my rational number that I found is ma'am 0.20120001 and then 20001. Ma'am, it's correct or not?
200. Okay. Are you talking about this, what I'm writing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is correct. All right. But you have to be specific that you are continuing the decimal expansion and not stopping. All right. So, okay, cool. So I guess also you.
Ma'am, if this decimal expansion that I taught is, ma'am, if there's a ma'am, if there's one, ma'am, if one is removed from this decimal expansion, it can be a rational number or not?
Yes, yes, of course. So if you remove any one of these digits, let's say if you remove one over here, right, this is still an irrational number. If you remove all of these ones, it is still an irrational number.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So now let's take a look at, see, when we talk about, okay, how about I just show you my other screen. Just a sec. Okay. So I hope you're all able to see my screen now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Uh, can Veer, can you tell me any random rational number on this?
Ma'am, random rational
Zero.
number.
Yeah,
Ma'am,
any rational.
1 by
0.75757555.
7, 2 by 7, 5 by 10.
Okay. Okay. So we're talking about any rational number. So Veer, for example, you said 1 by 7. Okay. Or let's take another example, like you said, 5 by 10. Right? 5 by 10 is what? Half? 1/2. 5 by 10 is half. So half is basically 0.5. So I'm just gonna, put a point over here. So basically, I pinpointed where your given number was. So 0.5 is over there on the number line. Now, Mridula, can you tell me an irrational number? A very simple irrational number. Like, okay, let's
Ma'am,
just
our
take
irrational number between 0 and 0.5.
no anywhere.
So ma'am, 0.75755755 and it continues.
Right. Okay, that is one example. How about we take a simple example like, okay, you said 0.75, right? So let's take a look at that. 0.75. Oh, sorry. All right. So 0.75, 0.7 is over here. So 0.75 is going to be somewhere over here, right? Are you able to see my cursor? So 0.75, just a sec. So this is 0.75. Okay, this is 0.75. All right. But Mridula said 0.75755. So we need to, oops. Okay, so 0.755 is somewhere over here, right? All right, it's over here. So you see, there's so much of difference between where we thought 0.75 would be. We thought it's on point B, but then when we zoomed in further, we said, oh no, it's on point C. So when we zoom in, even after this, if we keep on zooming, we will see that, well, no, it's not this point. So the thing is, you will never be able to stop at any one particular point. All right. Now let's talk about, let's just erase these. Let me just delete these. All right. Now let's talk about another rational number, irrational number, which is root 2. All right. Root 2 is an irrational number. It's a very simple irrational number in the sense that it's one of the most basic ones. Okay. So one way to do that is, all right. I want you guys to think about a triangle. Okay. Now let me just open my whiteboard again. Just a second. Yeah. So I want you all to think about a triangle. One side of this triangle is 2. This is a right angled triangle. The other side is 3. So you all know Pythagoras theorem. Can you tell
Yes, ma'am.
me? Okay. Can you tell me what will be the length of this hypotenuse?
Ma'am, is I'm correct, ma'am, it's root 13.
Yeah, very good. It's root 13. So how did we get that? We said, well, the Pythagoras theorem is root 2. I'm sorry. It is 2 square plus 3 square is equal to the hypotenuse square, right? So we said, well, the hypotenuse is equal to under root of 4 plus 9, which is equal to root 13. All right. So now look at this and then tell me what we've just done. So this is root 13. Is it possible for us to have, instead of root 13, can we have root 2? So that we will be able to figure out what exactly root 2 means. How much does root 2 measure? What's the measurement of root 2? Right? Because this is like you know a concrete number that we have here. We have, oh, this is 3 units, so we know how much 3 measures, but we don't know yet how much root 2 measures. So is there some way that we can have root 2 as the hypotenuse? To have root 2 as the hypotenuse, what should be our sides? Veer? Anyone? Hamna, Mridula?
Ma'am, can you repeat it?
If we want root 2 as the hypotenuse, we want our hypotenuse to be of length root 2 units. So in that case, what should be the length of both of our sides of the triangle?
It should be the same.
It should be the same as in, what should it be?
Root 2.
So you're saying that both of these sides, this side and this side, they should both be root 2. All right, let's try that out.
Ma'am,
Let's
because
No problem. Let's try that out.
it
It's okay.
seems like a equal.
So have you guys ever studied about triangle inequality?
Yes, ma'am. There are three types of triangles, ma'am. A triangle in
Right.
which two sides are equal, a triangle in which three sides are equal, and a triangle in which all the three sides are different.
Very good. Right. So the triangle in which all three sides are equal is known as
Ma'am, I didn't get you. Can you repeat?
a triangle in which all three sides are of the same length. They are
Ma'am,
equal.
equilateral triangle.
Very good. Equilateral triangle.
Equilateral.
Equilateral triangle. So can you tell me one special characteristic about an equilateral triangle? What does it look like? Veer, can you draw it on the screen? You must have seen equilateral triangles a lot.
Ma'am, I
So can
can't.
you,
Ma'am, I can't draw it on the screen. I don't have the permission.
oh, all right. Okay. Uh, I think you can just try it. All right. I think you won't be able to. No problem. No problem. So
Ma'am, all the
in,
angles are of 45 degrees.
no, all the angles are of 60 degrees. Okay, Veer,
Yes,
if
ma'am.
all the angles were 45 degrees, then what is the angle sum property of a triangle? Tell us.
Ma'am, triple A.
Right. So see over here, if this was 45 degrees and this was 45 degrees and this was also 45 degrees, then Mridula, what is the sum of the angles of a triangle?
Ma'am, it won't be equal to 180, ma'am. It should be 180.
Exactly.
Ma'am, if it is not
Exactly.
180, a triangle cannot be formed. Ma'am, I was wrong. It is
Exactly.
60, not 45.
Right. है ना? So this is 60 degrees. So in an equilateral triangle, all angles should be 60 degrees. But over here, we said, well, the triangle that we're starting with is a right angled triangle. So is this possible for all three of its sides to be the same? Are you getting my point? Veer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I said, did you hear what I said? Was I audible?
Ma'am, your voice is going low in between. I thought you were not talking.
Okay. Um, is it the same for everyone else as well? Mridula, are you able to hear me properly? Hamna? Okay,
Sorry,
Mridula.
ma'am, the Zoom is not responding in my laptop, so ma'am, I'm not able to answer.
Ma'am, your voice is audible, but in between, your voice is going.
Okay. So it's basically breaking. Hamna, what about you? Is it the same on your side as well, or maybe the problem is with my connection only? Hamna, could
Ma'am,
you
can you repeat
respond
the
in the chat?
question? What are you saying?
Ma'am, if
Okay.
you could repeat the question.
All right. I'll repeat this. So my question was, Veer, you said that it's possible for us to have this triangle. You said both of the sides can be root 2 and root 2. But then I asked, if all three sides are the same, then it will have to be an equilateral triangle. But an equilateral triangle cannot have a 90 degrees.
Yes, ma'am, all
So,
angles should be 60 degrees.
right. So, did you realize where your mistake was over here? That it
Yes, ma'am.
cannot be root 2 and root 2.
Yes, ma'am.
It has to be something else. Now let's think about what that something else can be. Think. Okay, how about 1 and 1? Can we have this? If this is 1 and this is also 1,
Yes,
then
ma'am.
will our hypotenuse come out to be root 2,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it's correct.
right? Okay, because then our hypotenuse will be root of 1 square plus 1 square, which is under root 2. So this is our hypotenuse. All right. So that means that if I want to know what root 2 looks like, how much it measures, what I can do is I can just construct a triangle, a right angled triangle with both of its sides as 1 unit each. And then this hypotenuse for me, it will turn out to be root 2. Okay, so now what we can do is, let me just share the calculator, the graph. All right, so now what I'm going to do here is, let me make a line, okay? And I hope you guys are doing the same in your notebooks with a compass, a pencil, and a ruler. So we're basically, what we are doing here is we are learning how to represent the root of any number on the number line. So I'm gonna have a line here, or maybe I just. So at 0, we have a point, and at 1, we have a point, and we're gonna create a line here. And I'm just gonna take a look at this. I'm gonna change the color of this line, I guess. Okay. All right. Now, okay, so what we need to do now is we need to have another uh, another side of the triangle. So one side of the triangle is this this line segment AB. Can you see it? AB is one side of the triangle. Or I can just remove this. Just give me a sec. Are you all doing this in your notebooks?
Yes, ma'am. We have to draw the number line of 0 and 1.
Yeah, a number line that goes from 0 till like 2 or 3. Or if you have a graph paper, then that would be best. Okay. So we have this one, we have one side of the triangle, and that one side is AB. Now we need to make the other side of the triangle. So the other side of the triangle has to be of 1 unit, because you see AB, the length of AB is 1 unit. So the length of the other side also has to be 1 unit. So I'm going to make the other side now. Segment, right? Okay. So can you see the two sides of the triangle now, AB and BC? Am I audible? Veer, Mridula, Hamna.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. So now these are
Yes,
the
ma'am.
two sides of the triangle. And I'm just going to connect these two sides to make the third side. Right? Right. So this is the third side. And just let me just color it with a different color. Okay, this is the third side. Now what we need to do is we need to find out on the number line, on this purple line, I need to see where does root 2 lie. Okay. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure the length of AC. I'm going to measure AC and I'm going to drop it on the number line. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to take a compass. All right. Put the compass needle on A. The compass needle on the point A, which is basically 0 on the number line. So put your compass needle on A and the pencil of the compass should be on C. Right. So what you have now, the length that you have now is root 2, 1.414 and so on. So that is root 2. Now what you need to do is with that same radius, you're going to drop an arc on the purple line. So let's just see what it looks like now. Okay. Just a second. So this is my segment. This is the radius that I have. And okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this point where the arc is intersecting on the purple line. And okay, and I'm gonna hide my circle. There you go. So this point that you can see, the point D, this point is root 2. All right, is that clear why it is root 2? If there's any doubt, please don't hesitate
Yes,
to ask.
ma'am. Yes, it's clear.
Okay. Hamna, is it clear to you as well? What
Yes,
about you?
ma'am.
Okay. Okay. All right. So this is our root 2. Now let's see where root 2 lies. So over here, it looks like it looks very close to 1.5, doesn't it? It looks very close to 1.5. Now, if I zoom in, I see that, oh wait, it's so close to 1.4, but it's not exactly 1.4. So I will keep on zooming. And then I see it's close to 1.41. It's between 1.41 and 1.415. So that means it is just a little lesser than 1.415. So you see, as you keep zooming in, you will get closer and closer to the precise value of root 2. So you see over here, it's not exactly 1.414, right? It's a little more than that. So that is basically how you find out what a number looks like on the number line. So I hope that's clear for everyone.
Yes, ma'am. It's clear.
Okay. Now, can we do the same for root 3?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what do you think we'll have to do for root 3, Mridula?
Ma'am, the base it's gonna be 2 or 1.
Okay, so if we say that I want my hypotenuse to be root 3, then try this out. If one of the sides is root 2 and one of the sides is 1, will it give you root 3? That's the question. If these two are the sides, then will the hypotenuse be root 3?
Yes, ma'am. It's root 3.
Right, it's root 3. Okay, why? Because, well, it's under root of, so hypotenuse is equal to under root of root 2 square plus 1 square. So that is root 2 square is nothing but 2 itself, right? Because the square and this root gets cancelled, plus 1 So this is equal to root 3. All right, so the hypotenuse over here is root 3. So basically, we need a triangle whose one base is root 2 and the other is 1. So first, that means first we need to first make a triangle which has root 2 as one of its sides. So if I take a look at, I'm just going to draw the number line that we just made right now. I'm just going to draw it very roughly. So we had 0. Over here we had 1, right? And, or just a sec. Just a minute. So over here we had 0, over here we had 1. Okay, and over here, this was our triangle. This was one of the sides, this was another side, and this was the hypotenuse. And this was basically root 2. This was 1 and this was 1. Now, if we want to make another triangle, what we can do is at this point, this was point, I think C over there, right? So at this point, we can draw another line segment, sorry. We can draw another line segment, which is 1 unit long. The length of this should be 1 unit. And well, we have a triangle over here. We can just connect these 2 points. So I'm just going to connect these 2 points. Just give me a sec. There you go. That's our triangle. What's the triangle? The triangle is, this was our A point, right? This was point A, this was point B. Let's call this point D. So can you see this triangle over here? This one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this was the triangle that we needed. Why? Because one of the sides is root 2, one of it is root 3. Sorry, one of it is 1, and the hypotenuse turns out to be root 3. So now if you do the exact same exercise which we just did right now, if you take your compass needle and put it on this point at 0 and take the pencil and put it at D, the length that you now have is root 3. So then you take this and then you make an arc over here. And this will basically be the value of root 3 on the number line.
Ma'am, where is the compass pointer be put in?
I'm sorry, could you repeat?
Ma'am, where is the compass needle is to put in?
I couldn't understand you, Mridula.
Ma'am, compass needle, ma'am, which point, ma'am, in which point
Achha,
compass
okay,
needle
you're
is?
asking where should we put the compass needle? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So the needle will always be on 0. The needle will be on 0. All right. Then you put the pencil over here so that you can take a measurement of this whole length. Okay. So that you can take a measurement of this whole length. So we got a measurement of that. Then with the needle at O itself, you don't change the center, right? So this basically what you're doing is you're making a circle and the center of it is 0. So with the needle at 0, you just point, like drop an arc over here. So the arc will look something like this. Oops, that's like a little messy. There you go. All right, so the point where the arc cuts the number line, that is your root 3. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, let's wind up. So your homework now is going to be, so applying the same principle that we applied right now, your homework is going to be find out root 4 in the same manner. In the same manner, you have to draw root 4 or mark root 4 on the number line. And then you have to do root 5 on the number line. And what is going to be our principle? What is going to be the strategy that we're going to use? That if this is your triangle and you need root 4 over here, then the base is going to be root 3. All right, so this is going to be your base. And over here, you're going to draw 1. And this is going to be root 4, right?
Ma'am, if the number increases, the number of triangles will also increases.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So you got it right. All right. Now, this is root 4. This is 1. This will be become our triangle. And then if you need root 5, if you want to find out root 5, hypotenuse is root 5, one base will be root 4 and one base will be 1. So this is our base, this is our 1, and now this will be our root 5. So your homework is to find out root 4 on the number line and root 5 on the number line. And if you can also do the same for root 6, then that would be great. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, all right. If there are any doubts, please feel free to ask.
Ma'am, no doubt, it's clear.
All right, thank you.
Ma'am, ma'am, about I talked to you, ma'am, in the evening. What?
Right. Okay, so Veer, I'll just get back to you very soon.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah, I'll get back to you soon. Okay?
Ma'am, I don't need personal classes. I just need one class or two classes before the exam.
Okay, 1 or 2 classes before the exam. All right. And your exam is on 25th or 26th, right?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, every month, twice I'll have exams, ma'am. Unit tests and formative assessments. So, ma'am, in every exam, we'll have one chapter.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Ma'am, 1 or 2 classes are enough for each chapter for me. Because, ma'am, I just want to clear my concept.
Right. Okay. So I'll get back to you about this soon. So is it okay if I tell you the final decision tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Thanks.
Oh, thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye. Good night.